Broadcasting live from the basement of the Pentagon. This is WTF Nation Radio.
You're just in time for pie.
Did somebody say pie?
Everybody, happy Friday. It's the end of the week. Not that it was a long week, since it was the Memorial weekend last weekend. So hopefully everyone's kind of somewhat got back into the swing of work, and now we're heading into the weekend again. So there's been quite a bit of news that's been happening over the past few days, especially within the military community. Which I'm going to touch on in a bit. Before I do so, I want to bring you guys a story I read about a couple of days ago, and it's pathetic. It really is dumb, but the only reason I'm bringing it to you is because the the person involved in this thing. So this story's been floating around a couple of places. I'm currently taking this one off the Army Times. But check this out. It's a top Defense Department official got in a pissing contest over a neighborhood parking dispute. He's been arrested and will end up doing 32 hours of community service at a local food bank. Brian Whitman, a civilian leader in the Pentagon's Public Affairs Office. Now, this guy was like the head of the fucking public affairs shit. He was one of President Bush's fucking go-to guys within the whole political or the public affairs realm. So this guy's been around for a while, and he holds like a huge freaking position. Well, he was charged on 3 counts of theft for stealing license plates off a car belonging to a neighbor's nanny and leaving a threatening note. The charges, which came to light on Wednesday, stunned Pentagon officials and co-workers and raised questions about any additional Defense Department investigation. In an agreement reached with the Superior Court in Washington, D.C., the charges against him will be dropped if he pays $1,000 in restitution, does the community service, stays away from the neighbors and the nanny, and doesn't get into trouble for 10 months. I think that's fucking bullshit, but whatever. According to the U.S. officials, Pentagon leaders didn't learn about the problem until they were contacted Wednesday by the Washington Post, which was the first to report the arrest. The dispute began in early April, around April 4th, when Whitman allegedly put a note on a car belonging to a nanny which was parked in his neighborhood. It said, "I know you are misusing the visitor pass to park here daily. If you do not stop, I will report it. Have your car towed, and the resident who provided this to you will have his privileges taken away." That was what was on the note that he left on this person's white Lexus, according to the police report. 2 days later, both of the vehicle's license plates were taken. The family she works for replaced the plates, and 2 days later, the rear license plate was taken. The family then mounted a camera outside that covered the street and sidewalk area, and on April 21st, the rear plate was taken again, but this time they had it on video. the Associated Press is not identifying the nanny or the family who were the apparent victims of theft. Terry Owens, a spokesman for the District Department of Transportation, said it's legal for nannies or babysitters to use visitor parking passes at any time. According to the police report, officers reviewed the video, which showed a man moving around the nanny's car, crouching down at the rear of the vehicle, and then went to Whitman's house in late April with a warrant. The report said that when they asked about the license plates, Whitman went to his car and retrieved them, then turned them over to the police. Whitman was charged on May 5th and then on Tuesday reached a deferred prosecution agreement with the court for the restitution and community service. Gordon Tobridge, the Pentagon's deputy press secretary, said Whitman was still in his job, but he did not provide any other details because it's a personal matter. He said he could not confirm whether there is any other Defense Department investigation into the matter, but said he is not aware of any probe by the Inspector General. Whitman has a security clearance, and under Defense Department regulations, he is required to notify officials if he is arrested. He did not respond to a request for comment. So, this slightly varies from the original article I was reading about this incident, but the majority of the facts are the same, and essentially come from the police department. So I was also under the impression that the second you got arrested, well, not literally the second, but as soon as you got arrested, you need to fucking notify like your chain of command or your security manager if you have a clearance. Hey, Mom, Snuggy, what do you guys think?
Oh, I agree with you about notifying your command or your high, your powers that be, I guess you could say. That's so fucking petty, though.
It is. Like, and to think this whole thing started over because this government employee, like a top government employee, got pissy because the neighbor's nanny was using the visitor's pass to park in the street where, according to the Department of Transportation, she's allowed to do so. And then in the other article I also read, it said there was no issues with parking as far as overcrowding. So people weren't fighting for parking spaces. This dude just got a fucking stick up his ass for some reason.
Yeah, we when we lived on Post on Hood, we kind of had a similar situation, and of course, the parking on the streets, that's public parking, first come, first serve. This chick, thought because it was right in front of her house, it was her parking spot. And, like, this woman would literally come out, and what's sad is this woman was a E7 and has gotten out. But she was the spouse, and her husband, is, and anyways, and he is an E6. But anyways, her character, she would come out, start cussing at people. I mean, just acting belligerent over a parking space. And of course, the MPs got involved. The housing NCOIC got involved. I mean, it was just ridiculous over a parking space. And the thing is like her driveway, 2 cars could easily fit in her driveway because it was so long.
Right.
Yeah. So, and her argument was, well, my husband, needs to be able to get in and out and go to work and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, it's not that hard for your husband to move 2 vehicles out of a driveway.
Yeah, I fucking hate people like that. WTF Nation Radio, you're on the air.
Hey, Todd, it's Nick.
Hey, what's up, man?
Hey, how you guys doing?
Not too bad. How you doing?
Oh, not too bad. Hey, Mom, hey, Snuggy, how you guys doing?
Great. How are you?
Oh, not bad. Hey, I kind of came in on the end of that, and I don't know what the pretext to it was. Somebody got arrested, and they're trying to wonder if they need to report it to their security manager.
Okay, so a quick rundown of what happened. So a top Defense Department official, essentially this guy is like the head or around that type of environment of the Public Affairs Office for the Pentagon. He's been around for years. He advised President Bush during the whole invasion era. So, like, this guy is, like, way up there. So he got all pissy because in his neighborhood, one of his neighbor's nannies was using a parking pass to park outside of the quote unquote employer's house. Like, so, she'd park outside the house, go inside the house, and then look after the kids. Well, I guess this dude got all pissed off about it because she was using the parking pass. He ended up leaving her a note saying, hey, I'm going to report you, I'm going to report the family, etc., etc. And then they continued to park there. I guess he got so pissed off that he ended up stealing their license plate, not once but twice. And then the family ended up putting a video camera up, like on the car. And when he stole it again, that's when they kind of caught him, reported it to police, and found out who he was. But he got arrested for it. Now, if you have a security clearance and you get arrested, regardless of what you get arrested for, you have to report it.
Oh, yeah. That's what I was going to call in about, as recently having gotten a upgraded security clearance myself. That is one big thing. If you have any run-in with police, you have to report it to the security manager.
Yep. And I guess he didn't do that. I mean, the whole thing is petty. The reason I wanted to kind of bring this up is because the dude is like a high-up Defense Department official.
Yeah.
Like, you would think someone in that position wouldn't be worried about petty fucking parking issues.
No, and you would definitely think that. But, yeah, apparently, no matter how high you get people... Sorry.
You sound like you're in a dog pound, man.
No matter how high you get up there, some people just can't let go things and have to react to that.
Yeah, these people need to reevaluate their lives. I mean, are they that bored in their jobs? And that's such a position that now they got to find fucking stupid shit to do.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I was calling it. I didn't hear if that the whole beginning part of it. I thought it was kind of like a question put out there whether or not he needed to report it, and that's what I was going to call him. Like, yeah, definitely needs to report that. But
it's all good.
I mean,
Yeah,
that's the whole
apparently they're going to
there,
drop
so.
all the charges if he does community service and pays $1,000 fucking restitution, which I think's stupid, but whatever.
Wow, that's ridiculous. And then there you go, right there too. That's kind of see what affluence might get you. There is your ability to dodge and duck punishments in a sense.
Yep.
All right, well, keep up the good work, guys. I'll be listening tonight, so have a great day.
All righty, man. I appreciate the call. You have a good one.
Yeah, you too.
Thanks. Yeah, so, I don't know. I guess when you're in them kind of fucking positions, you essentially do whatever you want.
Might as well, I guess, right?
Yep. Oh, shit. Talking about sucking, the VA, again, man, these guys, I'm sure they just do this shit just to piss people off. Holy shit. So actually, I'm reading from an article that came out this morning. It says that Veterans Affairs doctors could begin to provide sex reassignment surgery in coming years under a new rule proposed by the department. The move would remove a long-held ban on the surgery and likely provide another cultural point of controversy in the wake of federal rules issued last month that mandate public schools allow transgender students to use the bathroom of the gender they choose. So, I'm not sure if I read that correctly. Did that essentially just say the VA is thinking about making this move because the government said people in schools should be able to choose what bathrooms they make?
That's pretty dumb.
Sounds like it. But you gotta wonder how many people are actually asking for this, that they consider adding it, or is it just something they're just putting out there like, look how PC we are?
I think that's exactly what it is.
That's an elective procedure.
Yes.
Right? Are they going to do boob jobs too?
Well, I mean, the thing is, Red Leg spoke about this shit on one of the shows maybe a week, 2 weeks ago. He talked about the percentage of the population that is actually transgender, and it's like essentially nobody. It's like 0.0 fucking 1 or some dumb shit. I can't remember all the figures he came up with, but it's like I said, essentially nobody. So I don't see how the VA is under pressure from transgenders to make this shit go into effect. It says the proposal made public this week by transgender advocates and Time magazine states that past surgical procedures were poorly understood. Officials therefore could not justify providing them to veterans with gender dysphoria, a condition experienced by individuals who don't identify with their biological gender for a variety of mental and psychological reasons. However, increased understanding of both gender dysphoria and surgical techniques in this area have improved significantly, and surgical procedures are now widely accepted in the medical community as medically necessary treatment for gender dysphoria, the proposed rule says. It also goes on to say, so many veterans rely on the VA for important medical care that they have earned serving our nation, including transgender veterans, said Ashley Broadway Mack, president of the American Military Partner Association. Gender confirmation surgery is often critically important and medically necessary treatment, and lifting this ban is long overdue. Decisions on whether veterans should undergo the surgery would be made on a case-by-case basis after consultation with the VA medical experts. No timetable has been specified for when the department might start offering the surgery, but such changes can take several years to work through federal bureaucracy. VA officials told Time magazine that the proposed change has already been in the works since 2014. The same year, Medicare officials lifted the ban on the surgery. The National Center for Transgender Equality estimates that more than 134,000 veterans are transgender, and more than 15,000 transgender individuals are serving in the military today, despite rules forbidding them from serving openly. It's... You know, I read this shit last night, and last night, all through trying to go to fucking sleep, I'm pretty sure at some point I dreamt about this shit, and then waking up this morning, I can't help but think, should I fucking identify as like some completely ridiculous fucking, I don't know what, like...
Well, here's my question, because Medicare actually, a couple years ago, I just pulled it up, Medicare coverage ban on sex change surgery lifted. Excuse me. Are they trying to go in that same route for the VA? I mean, TRICARE doesn't even pay for it.
Well, TRICARE is different. Like, TRICARE doesn't pay for a lot of shit.
Of course. And then I'm pretty sure quite a few private insurance companies don't pay for it because they see it as an elective procedure.
Right. I mean, the bottom line is, if you can prove that the procedure you want or quote-unquote need is medically necessary, then as long as you prove that, generally speaking, they'll go ahead and pay for it. Like, when you're in service or your spouse, you can have up to one cosmetic surgery that TRICARE or the military will pay for. Now, the caveat to that is that cosmetic surgery has to be medically required or needed. Like, you can't just say, hey, I want to go get a boob job because my boobs are too small. But if you're having marital issues, and you're no longer getting laid, and it's causing arguments, and your husband's now all pissed off and doesn't like you because your boobs are too small, then when you go to marriage counseling and you go see the fucking shrink and all that kind of stuff, and you tell him all this shit, then it becomes medically necessary because you're stressed, it's causing family problems, which in turn is causing problems at work. So that's how it becomes medically necessary.
I don't know. If some dude was like that to me, I'd be like, there's the front door. Don't let it hit you in the ass on the way out.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yes, I mean, I agreed. But, I mean, that's just a kind of an example of how people, and I know this for a fact, how people...
can get around it.
Yeah, turn this shit into making it medically necessary.
Well, yeah, you can easily, call Military One Source or go to your PCM and we need marriage counseling because, my boobs are too small or my body image. And then you can easily fake going into counseling with other bullshit.
Well, I mean, you can't really fake it because...
Well, you kind of, I could see somebody doing it. I want to say easily fake, but I do see somebody trying to do that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it's been done. But, yeah, I know for a fact it's a long, drawn-out process to prove that it's medically necessary and all that kind of stuff. So, I mean, as the VA kind of getting back on track, the VA said, this transgender fucking surgery thing is going to be approved on a case-by-case basis. Like, once a whole program gets approved in several years, I guess. WTF Nation Radio, you're on the air. Yeah, hello. Goodbye. So, after several years, after this goes through DC and they finally agree on this thing, is it really medically necessary? Like, I don't know. I don't even know if I agree with this whole fucking transgender dysphoria thing.
I think it depends because there are people who do have biological, like when you study, inside, they have extra chromosomes. Some people have like an XXY or XY, whatever, and it does create problems. Or people who were born, and their parent decided, oh, well, sometimes some stuff happens and people are born with either both or where it could look or it, kind of it's indeterminate and you make a decision based at the birth.
Yeah, but if you have a biological condition, like a physical condition, like you're a hermaphrodite where you got fucking both, then that's different.
Well, here's my question. The VA typically pays for service-related conditions. Am I correct?
Yes.
So how is the surgery for
transgender dysphoria?
Yeah, connected to service-related conditions.
Well, here's the thing: the VA will. Okay, so their primary purpose is to treat service-connected issues, medical issues. If you're 100% service-connected disabled, they will treat any issue you have. Like, so it's just like going to the doctor, but you don't have to pay for it. Like, everything's for free. Now, it's all based on percentages. If you have, if you're not 100%, anything, I think the next one down is like 50%, you have to pay copays. So I think what the VA is trying to do with this is offer it as a service to veterans, because the VA is supposed to be specifically for veterans. But I mean, if they want it, they may have to end up paying for at least some of it.
Well, they should, because to me, that's, as I said, it's elective, and that's using government funds for an elective procedure.
Right. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm just being a douche here. I don't think it should be offered unless, well, okay, let me take it back. It should be offered, but on rare cases. Like, if someone, like Snuggy said, was, born and then raised, if they were a dude, they were raised as a girl because their parents are like freaks and wanted a freaking girl, so they dressed the boy up in dresses and, you know, psychologically scarred him for life. You know, I'm pretty sure as that kid grows up, at some point, he's going to go through some kind of counseling because he is going to be messed up.
Correct.
But, I mean, if at the end of it, it's like, okay, well, fine. I mean, that's essentially how you want to live your life because, you know, you're that scarred. Then, all right, go for it. Fine. I got no issue with that kind of thing. You know, hermaphrodites, if they're born with both fucking pieces of equipment, right? Make your choice. Do whatever you want. Or just spend the night in your, at home and go fuck yourself. It's that kind of shit I agree with, yes. But the regular, oh, you know what? I want to be fucking different. I want to stand out. So I think identify as female. Like, get the fuck out of here. I understand, you know, there's gay couples out there, and some gay women want to, you know, have fucking surgery to become a dude. It's essentially the same fucking thing as gender dysphoria. Like, I don't know why this whole new gender dysphoria fucking thing is here. Like, if you're a chick and you want to be a dude, then you're obviously attracted to chicks, which essentially makes you fucking gay. If you're a dude and you want to be a chick, that means you're obviously attracted to chicks, and you're still gay. Like, I don't know why this whole gender dysphoria thing's. I don't understand. It's maybe I'm just fucking naive. Maybe I just don't want to see it.
Oh, I lost my train of thought. Shit. Yeah, it is kind of confusing. Like, somebody in her family, he was for a while saying he was a guy, wanted to be a chick, but was still wanted to date chicks, and I just like, what the fuck? Like, really, that is so confusing. I don't get it. I totally don't get it at all.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
But now he wants to be a guy again, so.
That just sounds like confusion. I mean, there are some people out there that are so adamant that they're not in the right body, and I think that's where psychological testing comes in. I mean, even in the civilian world, if people elect to transition into one gender from the other, they undergo psychological evaluations, and they have to see a shrink person, and they're not allowed to start or be given medications or do reassignment surgeries until it's been proven that this is something that will change their life for the better or prevent them from feeling that disconnect between the mind-body thing. I mean, I don't think every case is like that severe, but I think there's enough to where even the DSM, which is like the psychological database of all kinds of different disorders that you can have, even the DSM is going to start classifying or does talk about gender dysphoria as being a psychological / sometimes physiological condition. So I think it's worth kind of looking into, but it's a very gray and strange area to be treading because, you know, you don't know who's just going through some kind of phase or wanting to be different and who really is sincerely feeling some kind of dysphoria, I guess is why they call it that. Like, you just can't feel right inside of yourself. And
yeah, and that's my point exactly. I understand if you have, you know, some kind of psychological condition, like I mentioned, or if you have a physical condition, like I mentioned. I can understand it. I understand that, you know, sometimes there's a medical necessity for things. I got that. But the majority of all these fucking movements that go on are people that have no idea what the fuck they want. They just want to be part of a group. They want to be different. They want to stand out. And that's what causes all these fucking problems. I'm pretty sure at some point in the world's history, up until 2016, there's been fucking people that are born with both parts. I'm pretty sure there's been some kind of fucking surgery to correct that in one way or the other. I'm pretty sure there's been fucking surgeries in the past where dudes have turned into chicks and chicks into dudes. But I'm also pretty sure they've all been medically necessary. I mean, I'm sure this isn't just a brand new fucking surgery that's come up. But it's all come out in the public now, and it's all blown up because of this these people that want to be different, that want to fucking walk around and fucking wave a flag of their own and fucking do their own things. I got no problem with people living their life they want to fucking live it. That's fine. If I don't agree with it, then I'll tell you I don't agree with it, and I'll tell you to stay the fuck away from me. It's that simple. But go live your fucking life. It's your life. As long as it doesn't affect me, I don't give a shit. But the way the world is right now, this kind of shit affects everybody.
It kind of seems like we give an inch and then they want a foot. Like all, as Raptor 7 says, the silent majority. We keep giving them this inch and they want a foot, and they just keep taking and taking, and we keep giving and giving. And where do we draw the line?
Well, I mean, you draw the line at, how about this fucking stupid ass minority that's less than 1%? Stop giving them what they want. You're changing the whole fucking social norm. You're changing the way of the world, so to speak, by giving in to a group that is less than 1% of the fucking country, let alone the world. Like, it's fucking ridiculous.
But the thing, what happens is that less than 1%, like, I mean, look at the whole, bathroom thing in North Carolina and the whole thing in Mississippi. Everybody the majority of these people, I guess you kind of say, have no clue what's really going on, are causing the uproar themselves.
Yeah. I mean, that's always the way. Whenever any kind of fucking movement starts, it always starts with, being out quiet. Oh, no one's really paying attention. So then you start all these rallies and pushing this, like, marketing, I guess. And then you turn into violence and being loud and doing dumb shit. Because you finally realize that, hey, by doing this, we get so much more attention. And now our voice really is being heard. And that's why so many organizations turn to violence. Because, unfortunately, that's the only way they get heard. I mean, look at the fucking Black Lives Matter movement. That's the only way they got fucking heard, was from violence. And now that, generally speaking, the violence has stopped, they've kind of faded into the background. No one fucking really hears of them anymore. No one knows what they're really doing anymore because the violence has fucking stopped. And it's stupid that that's the way it is. If there's a legitimate movement or a legitimate fucking cause, that people should be able to get their word out there. They should be able to talk about their issues. They should be, heard and understood. But that isn't the way this country has turned out to be. You have to be violent to be heard before anything is done. I don't know. I'm all riled up now. But what we're gonna do, guys, is we're gonna hit up some music real quick. Well, I calm down, and then we'll get back with something that kind of caveats to this whole VA giving the sexual dysphoria surgery. So here we go. Enjoy this. Welcome back, everybody. So, yeah, kind of transitioning from the VA trying to implement sex dysphoria, sex gender dysphoria towards surgery, whatever the hell that shit is. I got a story here that's oh my gosh. So Fort Riley cancels a hero's prayer breakfast speech because of dumb shit. So get this. A Kansas military base abruptly canceled an upcoming prayer breakfast that featured retired Lieutenant General Jerry Boykin after complaints were lodged that Boykin is anti-Muslim and anti-gay. Military Religious Freedom Foundation founder Mike Weinstein told Army Times that Boykin's invitation had caused great angst amongst soldiers at Fort Riley, leading some to break down in tears. He says, quote, "I have clients of ours weeping on the phone about this." Well, Lieutenant General Boykin said, "I sincerely doubt that America can expect to win wars if the people who are tasked to do so are frightened by an old retired general with biblical views and a testimony of faith. Boykin, who was an original member of Delta Force and an executive vice president of the Family Research Council, was scheduled to deliver remarks at June 6 prayer breakfast. The event was set to be held in conjunction with the 1st Infantry Division's Victory Week celebration. The MRFF launched a protest on May 31, accusing the retired 3-star general of being a homophobic, Islamophobic, fundamentalist Christian extremist. He sows hatred and heinous man, these are long words, so bear with me. Divisiveness. I guess he's trying to divide people. With his sickening screed of fundamentalism, Christian supremacy, primacy, exclusivity, and triumphalism, Weinstein wrote in a complaint to Fort Riley. Mr. Weinstein might want to consider cutting back on the caffeine and adjectives. God damn it. All them fucking big words. He went on to label the decorated military hero as a, quote, world-class bigot, and threatened to sue unless Boykin was ejected. General Boykin told the reporter that the cancellation is, quote, just another reminder of the incredible discrimination against Christians in our armed forces. This should tell you how difficult it is for Christians, especially chaplains, to live their faith in our military, which is another thing that kind of I was thinking about all last night. The reporter reached out to Fort Riley, and they confirmed that the prayer breakfast has been called off. They blamed the cancellation on a scheduling conflict and said it would be rescheduled. Lieutenant General retired Boykin's credentials as a soldier and leader speak for themselves in his 36 years of service to our nation and are worthy of our respect, Chief Public Affairs NCO Master Sergeant Mike Levine told the reporter in a statement. However, in an effort to ensure everyone in our broad and very diverse community feels welcome at any event on Fort Riley, we will pursue the invitation of a different speaker for the prayer breakfast once it is rescheduled. Now, it is important to follow that the timeline on this story. Boykin was extended an invitation to speak on March 31. On June 1st, the MRF filed their complaint, and 23 hours later, Fort Riley cancelled the breakfast. However, Fort Riley denies the MRFF complaint had anything to do with their last-minute decision to drop the prayer breakfast, calling it a coincidence and unfortunate timing. Let me give you a rundown of some of Lieutenant General Boykin's...
I just keep laughing about his last name.
Boykin?
Yes. Okay, this is a prayer breakfast, right?
Yes.
And they're upset that he speaks out about the LBGT community. Like, really?
I know, right? Like, that's almost like, let me think. That's, holy shit, I know, I mean, that's like a Black Lives Matter protest, being told one of their speakers can't do it because they have white friends or some shit, or because they dislike white people. Like, Christianity in its rawest form is against, gay relationships and all that kind of shit. So, because he has them views, you're going to discriminate against him because of his religion and his views?
Here's my question. I kind of skimming down through the article too. So was Lieutenant General Boykin a chaplain, or no?
Let me give you a quick rundown of this guy's kind of biography. So his last rank held was Lieutenant General. He held the commands in U.S. Army Special Operations Command, the JFK Special Warfare Center. He took part in Operation Urgent Fury, Operation Just Cause, Operation Restore Hope. His awards include Combat Infantryman Badge, Master Parachutist Badge, Military Freefall Badge, Ranger Tab, Special Forces Tab, 2 Legion of Merits, 1 Bronze Star, an Air Medal, 2 Purple Hearts. He was also a professor at Hampton Sydney College and the Executive Vice President of Family Research Council. From 1978 to 1993, he was assigned in various capacities to the 1st Special Operations Detachment Delta, or as more commonly known, Delta Force. Lieutenant Colonel Bucky Burris, helping with Delta Force selection at the time, recalled that Boykin had a bad knee and I thought he'd never make it. I see this guy bust his knee and like he pushed through and done all kinds of crazy, stupid shit. Yeah, I already kind of gave off his deployments. Like, the guy's done a whole bunch of shit. Like, so he's pretty much like earned his tenure, for a lack of better words.
Yes, of course. I'm just what kind of I won't say kills me, but gets to me. I won't say gets to me, but like if you speak out, just say, well, I mean, look at Trump. The whole Syria and refugee thing, the quit letting them in, that you're anti-Muslim, or if you just say, I don't think, gays should get married, you're anti-gay, or you're being discriminatory, but you're not. That's just your opinion.
Right.
And once you voice that of your opinion, that's how you're labeled. And it's like, this gentleman right here, he's being labeled that way, but those are his beliefs. I mean, okay, let's say if, he was Muslim and he had those same beliefs, would they have canceled it?
I don't think they'd even invited him to. I don't know. Look, it's a prayer breakfast, man. It's not like, hey, everyone has to come to this thing and listen to this guy talk about his religion. It's a prayer breakfast. So if you don't believe, don't freaking go.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, it goes back to these minority groups taking control of the bigger mainstream fucking things.
It's like a gay person walking into a church, going up to a pulpit and and asking them, to cancel service because of the message.
Yeah, it's stupid. I mean, the Christian or Catholic fucking religion, like, is against gay marriage, against fucking gay relationships and all that shit. Like, that's a fundamental part of the fucking religion. So, because someone follows that particular religion and they, I guess, practice it the way they feel it should be practiced, part of that is, against, gays in general. He's being persecuted for it. Now, as far as I know, he hasn't spoken out kind of being violent against them or anything like that. So it's not really a hate thing. It's just, I guess he's known as being anti-gay and maybe anti-Muslim. WTF Nation Radio, you're on the air.
Hey, how you doing?
Not too bad. How you doing?
Well, I'm sitting in Ohio, and I catch the show every so often. It's not so bad. I wish he'd play a little more Pantera there instead of that White Zombie, though.
Well, I'll try and throw it in for you during the next music break, if we have one.
Yeah, that's all right. Hey. So what do you guys think about this whole stupid gorilla thing? Because I think it's a waste of our time.
We've already talked about that. We talked that shit to death. I think Red Leg's going to do another one of them things tonight.
Oh, God. Oh, well, yeah.
Yeah, give Red Leg a call tonight.
Say hey. I figure I'd say turn off my feed for a minute and say hey, and you guys have a great day out there.
Oh, I was going to ask you, what part of Ohio are you calling from?
Northwest Ohio. No,
okay.
I'm about 100 miles from Wright Pat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I'm north of Wright Pat. I'd rather be closer to Wright Pat because the commissary's there and the food's cheaper. Not always the gas. But.
Well, I appreciate the call, man.
Cincinnati area.
Yeah, you're not missing much up here.
Yeah, I know.
So.
Well, I appreciate the call. Give Red Leg a call tonight about the whole gorilla thing. I know he's going to be fielding for questions.
Okay,
Alrighty, man. You have a good day. Thanks for the call.
Yeah, bye.
So, getting back to this thing, it's like I said. Once again, the minorities are taking over the majorities. If this guy has his own views, then as long as he isn't being, I guess, violent or spouting kind of, I guess, quote unquote hate speech, then what's the problem? Like, doesn't the fucking Muslim population do that shit all the time? And
they kill them.
yeah. I got it. Not every Muslim is fucking bad. I know that, you fucking idiot. Like, if you're one of them people that are like, oh, but not every Muslim is... It's generally fucking speaking. You're part of the fucking problem. There's bad in every fucking culture, but...
Kind of going back to the whole, I guess we're going in circles, and like the whole bathroom thing in North Carolina. They're protesting, these companies are boycotting North Carolina, and people are protesting companies that won't. Anyways, what's funny is how they still do business with Muslim countries.
Oh, I know, right?
And then, like, China, the same week that all that was going on, like, totally just denied gay marriage, and not a word. So people, they just don't, I guess it's first world problems. I don't know.
It's the same problem you have with everything else the younger generation has got going on. They're not interested in the bigger picture. They're not interested in anything else that's going on outside of their own little fucking lives.
Outside of Facebook and Insta shit and
Yeah.
Twitter and...
that's social media is also partly to blame
Slut chat.
for why some of these subjects and topics have blown up so big, and because you can reach so many more people now. It's much more visible. But I blame the younger generation, because they're the ones that are pushing for all this shit. I mean, you never had these problems, 20, 30 years ago.
And they all wear the Che t-shirt.
The what t-shirt?
Che Guevara.
What the fuck is that?
You never heard of him?
No. Maybe I'm just not hip.
Okay, he was a communist that... Oh,
Is that a dude like with the kind of like blackface curly hair on the fucking side of the wall or some shit?
in Cuba?
Yeah. No,
Was that the
that's Chavez,
president?
ain't it?
Yeah. Where, I mean, he killed gays. He killed black people just because he did not like them. And all these same people that are, quote unquote, like socialist and all that kind of stuff, especially Jay-Z, they wear his fucking t-shirts. And I'm just thinking, y'all need to read your history. Yeah, look him up, Pi. He's an outstanding citizen.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
Argentina. Whatever.
So, D-Max called in during the break, well, one of the breaks, and he wanted us to mention a specific topic. I've mentioned it in the past, but I can't remember anything about it. Like, I'm pretty sure I've mentioned it. So, I figured, what the hell? This it's kind of relevant. Well, it's very relevant. So, why not? Let's do it. So, according to the Military Times, and this was published a couple of days ago, the VA is going to review 24,000 brain injury diagnoses. Some post-9/11 veterans with traumatic brain injuries who were denied disability compensation by the VA between 2007 and 2015 have another chance to receive their benefits. The Veterans Affairs Department announced Wednesday that more than 24,000 veterans could qualify to receive another medical exam for brain injury without having to refile a claim. Their compensation will be awarded back to the date of their initial claim if they are found to have experienced a TBI. Providing support for veterans suffering from a TBI is a priority and a privilege, and we must make certain that they received a just and fair rating for their disabilities, VA Secretary Robert McDonald said in a release. Anything that guy fucking says is bullshit. Anyway, VA in 2007 began requiring veterans get medical assessments for TBI from one of 4 specialists, either a psychologist, a psychiatrist, a neurologist, or a neurosurgeon. It denies claims of some veterans whose initial TBI exam was done by another medical provider. Well, they can deny all they want, because when I last read about this, they were having, RNs and, other just regular fucking PCMs conduct these fucking tests. VA officials said the department had issued a number of guidance documents that may have created confusion regarding the policy, requiring the exams to be done by certain doctors, resulting in a large number of former service members either being denied compensation or receiving a lower disability rating. We let these veterans down, McDonald said. Veterans who qualify for a new exam will be contacted by the VA. The department said more than half of the veterans already are receiving some level of compensation benefits. So it's essentially just another way the VA is fucking things up. And even more reason why you guys need to make sure you document shit before you leave the service. Because if you don't, I mean, you're already going to have a hard time dealing with the VA, but you're just going to make it so much harder for yourself.
Dang.
Yeah, I can't get over the VA.
I just don't understand how a doctor outside of those 4 specialties can make that diagnosis.
Well, I'm pretty sure that. I mean, they said it was done over confusion. I don't know how the fuck you get confused with no one outside these 4 specialties can do this, but I mean, I guess it's the quality of staff. I would think that either long wait times to go see one of these 4 specialists, and to kind of cut down on that, or to make it easier, you have doctors or RNs or whoever conduct these tests and make the diagnosis. That's my thinking behind it. But so speaking of shitty things, the VA being shitty, everyone dreams of winning the lottery, right? And Snuggy, if you ever won the lottery and you was at work, like how would you act as far as, hey, this is my last day, I'm never coming into work again, fuck you, I won the lottery? What would you do?
Well, considering I work for myself, I guess I have to tell myself to go fuck off. But no, there were quite a bit of jobs that I wish I could have left in such epic fashion.
Like what? What's an epic way to leave a job? What's something you would have the balls to do?
I mean, pretty much just wanted to cuss out the manager, who every time I came into work used to tell me the job I had done the day before wasn't the job she'd wanted me to do the day that she told me to do it, and then have a whole new list of things and stuff I had to learn the next day. So, whatever. She was kind of a piece of work. So I'd have liked to give her a real good piece of my mind and not needed a reference. So, I don't know, just cussing her out, I guess. Nothing, I'm not going to go key anybody's tires or whatever. So,
that
yeah.
What about you, Mom?
Shit. I don't know. I mean, I'd probably just roll up in a brand new car or something and just be like, peace out, bitches, and peel off.
I keep thinking of that Half-Baked where he's at the hamburger place and he's gets mad because the dude keeps talking to him on the microphone, and then he's like, you know what? just turn around. I'm right here, B, you know, or whatever. And then he's like, gets the microphone. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. You're cool. Fuck you. I'm out. Like,
Yeah,
that just runs through my head when you. So what did this person do?
Well,
they won the lottery and.
This person done something I would probably do. So, this 41-year-old woman had won the lottery worth over $3 million. She showed up to work the next day on Monday to deliver one last package. The courier company had no idea of her winnings. I knew something was wrong because I came back from lunch and the door to my office was closed, said the manager. I slowly opened the door to discover the woman with her pants around her ankles, hunched over on my desk like a hippopotamus, dropping a massive shit on my desk. She shot her head towards me and locked eyes. I was frozen in shock and fear. In my peripheral vision, I saw a huge mud monkey sliming out of her butt like a Play-Doh fun factory.
Wow.
It was worth it, the woman said, on arrest. On Friday, when I realized I hit the lotto, I knew this would be the first thing I would do. I hit up every Mexican food truck and saved my dumps all weekend. I was shuffling around like a death row inmate, trying not to explode. I've been putting up with this guy's shit for years. It's time he put up with some of mine. Essentially, the chick was arrested for this.
that's great.
That's fucking awesome. I love
First
the
thing
wording in this article as well. That's not my wording. This is like the wording in the fucking article.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty legit.
Sometimes adjectives pay off.
Yeah, so before you guys, well, as you guys pick up your DD-214, go hit up your commander and first sergeant.
Make sure you get to the taco trucks too.
Yeah. just visit the defect for the week prior. It'd be good.
Oy.
Welcome back, everybody. So,
Hey,
before we kind of get going on this next portion of the show, Facebook Live is going to die in about 5 minutes. In case you don't know, Zuckerberg only allows us to do this thing for 90 minutes, which is an hour and a half for you infantry guys, before he cuts us off. So, if you want to continue to watch the show, head on over to WTF Nation Radio's Facebook page. Just use the search bar, type in WTF Nation Radio. I'm going to start the stream back up over there and not on the US Army WTF Moments page. So head on over to the WTF Nation Radio Facebook page and you'll be able to see the trail portion of the show, I guess. So I'm going to restart it now. And yeah, join us back here in a minute or so.
So in Georgia, this family is a victim of either a random act of violence or anti-American hatred. The motive has yet to be determined. Dami Arno and her daughter were talking in the garage of their Lawrenceville, Georgia home when a woman wearing a full burqa stole the flag from their mailbox and charged them. Dami said during an interview that she has friends who fought and died for the red, white, and blue. When she took it down, it was not disrespect. It was a slap in the face. It was a punch to the gut. A lady walked out of our woods in a full burqa, stares at us for a minute, then grabs my American flag off my mailbox and charges us with it, swinging it with all her might, she said. The 30-year-old Amina Ara charged Arno, resulting in a fight that required Arno's children to step in. Arno's 17-year-old daughter, Brittany, jumped in to protect her mother until her 14-year-old brother grabbed the family gun, according to Fox 5. Not deterred by the 14-year-old's threats of lethal force, she continued to fight until two neighbors arrived and held her down. Ara was arrested by Lawrenceville police, charged with 2 counts of simple battery, and processed at the Gwinnett County Adult Detention Center. Fucking nuts.
Yeah. Now, the funny thing is, if this had been the other way round, would it be would it have been classed as a hate crime?
Maybe.
Oh.
I mean, if it was an American flag still in question, or like, what are your parameters of?
I guess either or. So let's let's go to the extreme first. So if this Muslim family, chick, whatever, had a fucking Iraqi flag, Afghani flag, wherever the fuck she's from, if she had that flag on her mailbox, and some American had come along and taken that flag and done the exact same shit that she had done, but with that flag, I'm pretty sure that would have resulted in some kind of hate crime.
Probably.
But yet, I guess that wasn't the case. Now, I was also told, and I don't have any kind of, I guess, facts or details to substantiate this, but I was told that the charges didn't go ahead because it was a plastic pole.
What?
That's what I was told. Yeah, I don't know.
Usually, you're not gonna hang a big old heavy metal pole off your mailbox, so.
Yeah, but I mean,
I think this is where maybe poorly written stuff comes into play, because is it like an anti-American hate crime, or is it a something because these two women, maybe they kind of know each other, or maybe this woman's from the neighborhood and they just hate each other and she just got real mad one day? I don't know.
Yeah, but still, I mean.
But it's still like, I don't know. It's ridiculous either way.
Yeah, maybe I'm a bit more civilized. I mean, if you hate someone, just stay the fuck away from them. Don't deal with their bullshit.
Well, I agree totally. But when someone's in your face with your flag, I guess, attacking you, you're going to you got to fight back. But.
Well, yeah, I mean, the Muslim woman took the Americans woman, and I'm saying American just for distinction. I mean, the Muslim woman could be fucking American for all I know, but just for distinction purposes, the Muslim woman took the woman's flag, and I guess that's where it all kicked off. I mean,
well, she took the flag off the box and then just rushed them, according to the article. So it was. But, like, how stupid is this lady? Like, you're going to go attack somebody, but you were hoping that they would have a weapon for you?
I don't know. I mean, if someone would have done that to me, I would have... Well, I'd like to think I would have put me in fucking hospital. But,
yeah. Bath salts, I guess. I don't know. She sounds like she was... I mean, what a stupid thing to do.
It's I'm telling you, man, the fucking... This country is losing its damn mind.
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck is going on.
It's in the water. I'm just kidding. But
it's somewhere.
I don't know. People are doing so much stupid shit, and then they think when they get caught, it's like, oh, well, but I had so many reasons or whatever. There's no reason to act so ridiculous. And, if you don't like something, well, stand up and do something about it, but not attack people in their garages. That's not going to accomplish shit if you really have a point to be made. But I guess most people don't have a point. They just want to go destroy something.
Well, it's like I said earlier, man. In today's society, nothing your point or your thoughts or way of life or whatever the fuck you want to call it, none of that shit gets heard. None of it matters unless it turns to violence. And once it turns to violence, that's when everybody listens and pays attention, and that's where your cause gets known and all that kind of stuff. It's ridiculous.
Agreed.
So you want to hear something else that's ridiculous?
Always.
Scott McGee, a blind Louisiana man, is suing McDonald's in an attempt to force the burger chain to serve customers who walk up to the drive-thru window to place an order. The 35-year-old man filed his lawsuit in Chicago federal court, according to the Chicago Tribune. He is arguing that the restaurant's policy of refusing to serve driverless customers is in direct violation with the Americans with Disability Act.
What?
I know, this guy's a fucking idiot. McGee's lawyers, Robert Luis Costellas, said his client's right to order a late night meal is a quintessential American activity that should not be denied to someone because of their disability. You don't have a disability if you don't have a fucking car, you idiot. You just don't have a goddamn car. The paper reports the representatives of McDonald's at McDonald's say they have not been served with the suit and would not comment on any pending litigation. Some McDonald's locations are open around the clock, but only serve customers at the drive-thru window during late night hours. This is not the first time a blind person has sued the fast food burger giant. In 2012, a Los Angeles woman sued McDonald's after its employees allegedly discriminated against her guide dog. Now, okay, I got it. If you're not going to let a guide dog inside the store or some bullshit like that, then yes, I mean, I guess you got a valid case. But if you're going to fucking sue them because they won't let you walk up to the drive-thru window, and you're fucking blind, does it take a fucking genius to work out that's like basic safety?
Apparently so, or he's hoping that someone will hit him and then he can sue him again for them failing to protect him.
I know, right? Like maybe they should put up barriers so like the spacing between each car is permanently set, so even if they did go forward, they wouldn't be able to, I don't know, crash into them or something. Oh my god, this fucking world. I'm drinking tonight. I'm drinking heavily. I'm gonna need something after this shit.
I think I'm gonna start like in about 10 minutes.
Oh my god. So it's something. So do you remember? Holy shit! A while back now, I was talking about the I guess Congress and stuff trying to push through a law, and John McCain was. I'm not sure if he was heading it up, but I know he was one of the main people of this thing. But they were trying to put together a bill or a law, but I mean, however you want to call it. They were putting this thing together that would allow or make it easier for VA employees to be fired once they have fucked up or done something wrong. Because as the current system stands, it's virtually impossible to fire a VA employee outside of their probationary period. Well, and in some cases, even during their probationary period. And this has been backed up with a number of recent events and stories and issues. There was a VA employee in Puerto Rico who committed armed robbery, and when the VA or when members of the VA went to fire her, I guess her lawyers and VA management or whatever the fuck it was, concluded that she was not allowed to be fired because A, there was other VA employees that have felonies, and B, that she conducted these crimes while she was off duty, and it didn't affect the VA at all. And surprisingly enough, she was able to keep her job. There's been many other cases where pharmacists, doctors, and other kind of people that have access to medications have been slinging that shit on the side. So there's been a number of issues. And I guess John McCain and some fellow senators and congressmen kind of try to put together this bill. Anyway, this bill, when it was presented, actually looked pretty good. I don't have it in front of me. I don't even have any kind of notes of it in front of me. But it actually looked pretty good. It allowed people that if they fucked up, they fucked up. That's it. You're done. You're out. They couldn't be sheltered by all these loopholes and everything they're currently being sheltered by. The original draft was to change everything up, and it done a good job of it. But as with every kind of bill and stuff that gets pushed up, it gets reviewed, and everyone needs to kind of take bits out and put bits in because they have their own special interests to protect. Well, this article's kind of in regards to that. So lawmakers are furious at the Department of Justice move that could protect a fired VA official. Lawmakers are fuming over what they describe as a shameful decision by the Justice Department that could help the former head of the scandal-scarred Phoenix VA get her job back. Attorney General Loretta Lynch, in a letter sent Tuesday, notifies House Majority Leader Kevin McCarthy, who's a Republican from California, that the Department of Justice would not defend a key provision of the Veteran Affairs Reform Law passed in the wake of the scandal over officials covering up long patient wait lines. The provision in question had helped uphold the expedited firing of the Phoenix official at the heart of the scandal, Sharon Hellman. Now, lawmakers say Lynch's decision could put Hellman back on the job as she pursues a lawsuit against the government. Hellman had been fired in 2014 in November amid criticism not only over the wait time cover-up at the Phoenix VA, but also unreported gifts. Congressional critics warn the DOJ move is a blow to accountability. The effect of this reckless action is clear. It undermines very modest reforms to a broken civil service system, reported in 2014 by the president and an overwhelming majority of Congress. House Veterans Affairs Committee Chairman Jeff Miller said in a statement Wednesday night, Lynch stressed in her letter to the DOJ will continue to defend the vast bulk of the law, including against Hellman's other legal challenges. But she said the Department of Justice would not defend the provision that denied Hellman an appeal after a judge upheld her removal. In its narrow decision, the department determined that one aspect of the procedures to review the lawfulness of the employee's removal, the provision given an administrative judge final and unreviewable discretion to determine if the removal was lawful, violates the U.S. Constitution, a spokesman for the DOJ told Fox News. And it carries on and on and on and on. Now, if you kind of want the quick version of that, so the chick got fired. I guess it went to an appeals judge, and they was like, "Yep, you're done." But I guess not all portions of the appeal was heard. So the Department of Justice is now saying, no, you guys fucked up, so she can have her job back. Isn't that some shit?
Yeah, for sure. Especially because it wasn't, I don't know, it wasn't just something stupid. It was over, like, what gifts she took that she wasn't supposed to, or gifts she took and didn't claim.
Yeah, well this is
monies that were misappropriated or whatever.
Yeah, the wait lines was the biggest thing.
Well, yeah, that's what I was getting to also.
Oh.
But I'm just saying, like, there's so much stuff that she was responsible for or had a hand in that, you know, she doesn't need her stupid job back. And this whole, you get so many chances and you get so many attempts to try to convince somebody else that you're right when what you did is staring you in the face and it's blatantly wrong. It just goes back to that whole thing of permissiveness and, it's okay. And, you know, let's just allow you to do whatever because, you know, there's so many loopholes for you to get around everything and use and abuse to your benefit. This just shit makes me so mad because it's why we can't really fix anything, because as soon as it looks like something is getting fixed, there's a regression back to, let's put the same old people that we know aren't going to do anything to fix it back in positions. Just makes me really upset and aggravated.
Yeah, it's previously I'm trying to find it right now. I'm having a kind of hard time doing it, but I read a piece a while back about how hard it is for VA employees to be fired, even though they've done something wrong, something as major as commit a felony. Now, from what I can remember, there is a civilian law firm that is made up of, a shit ton of lawyers that are VA and employment gurus. So what happens is the VA employees, once they become a VA employee, they can opt to, I guess, join this like membership club, so to speak. And part of being a member gives you access to like this law firm. It's almost like a secret union type thing.
Well, they do that. I used to work at a school. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but they had something similar to that, like kind of a legal aid type of thing. I'm sure theirs is way better and much more, great than mine. Our thing was, but we did have an option where you could pay into something where if you did get into trouble or, you needed a lawyer for something, even like for divorce or whatever, then because you were kind of a member of this group or what have you, you had access to consultations and, whatnot. So, I mean, sometimes it can be a good thing because, people need protection, but anyway, I don't mean to derail your train.
I understand what you're saying. That there are times where you may need legal advice, because your employer is trying to screw over the employees. I understand that. But the whole purpose of this law firm is to get you out of problems you've created for yourself. Like I said, I'm having problems finding it, and I can't really remember too much about it. But
I'm trying to find it for you, but
it's like these guys. If I can remember correctly, and I'll look back on this and I'll try and pull this up for Monday. But the VA employee from Puerto Rico who was charged and convicted of armed robbery, she was allowed to keep her job because of these guys.
I remember we talked about this story, and I'm trying to find it.
Yeah.
My internet kind of crashed out on me, so.
These guys, I understand. They have a job, and they're doing their job. I got that, But by doing what they're doing, and they're doing it on purpose, they're fucking over the system. They know the loopholes. They know the employment law and all the VA rules. They know them inside out. And they essentially use it to their advantage. Now, I got it. Some people may say, well, they're doing their job and they're obviously doing a good job. And, okay, that may be the case. But when you're saving people that don't need to be saved, that shouldn't be saved, there's an issue.
Yeah, totally.
And
there you
go. The amendment or the bill or the act that these congressmen and senators are trying to push forward, it will eliminate, if not all, at least most, of these loopholes that this law firm and other people are using. Currently, as it stands, the only way you can really be fired from the VA is if you're within your probationary window. I can't remember how long that is, but during that probationary window, if you screw up, then you get fired. But if you're outside of that probationary window, it's virtually impossible to get fired. Now, I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but I'm saying for the most part. And I guess it comes back to knowledge is power, and knowledge includes people you know.
Here it is. I found the article, and it said that the union is the American Federation of Government Employees, AFGE.
And there's also another group. I can't remember what it is.
Yeah, I'm looking to see if it mentions them as well, but it's in reference to the woman in Puerto Rico. Mm-hmm. She was apparently, granted back that job. It says that she's close friends with multiple union officials of that same group. And then they demanded the job back and pointed out that the management side labor relations specialist in charge of dealing with the union and employee discipline is a convicted sex offender. So they're trying to say that she deserved her job back because the other guy she works with is a sex offender. And he says that he disclosed the conviction to the hospital and the VA hired him anyway, reasoning, quote, "There's no children in the hospital, so they figure I could not harm anyone here," end quote.
Yes, and there's been numerous other cases where the VA themselves has said, just because you have a criminal past, it doesn't stop you from, well, we don't discriminate because, I mean, that would be breaking the law. So just because you have a criminal past doesn't mean you can get fired. It doesn't mean you can't get hired. So essentially the VA is trying to fucking cover their ass after being fucked over by these people that come up with this shit.
Yep, I guess.
It's ridiculous. But
Yeah. They also said there's a Merit Systems Protection Board that justified reinstating certain VA executives after they swindled hundreds of thousands of dollars by bullying others out of jobs and then cashing in on relocation bonuses to take the jobs themselves.
yes, that was them two women. I can't remember their names.
Diana Rubens and Kim Graves.
Yes, and I believe, don't quote me, but I believe at least one of them still has their job or has their job back.
I believe, well, I don't know, it doesn't say, but it says both of them, the reasoning that, you know, you can commit a crime off campus or you can commit a crime and still keep your job, whatever. It says that the Merit Systems Protection Board used that reasoning to justify reinstating VA executives. So I'm assuming they both got their jobs back.
Yes, see, it's them kind of bullshit loopholes, but for a regular person that would, and I guess this goes for any job, not just inside the VA, but for any person that, I guess, fucks up one time, like something small, something, you know, meaningless. I don't know, maybe you've been late for work a few too many times, or I don't know, some stupid shit. I mean, essentially you're gonna be fired and fucking, that's it, you're forgotten about. But for people, especially within the VA, when you seriously fuck up, I mean, I guess it doesn't matter.
I guess not.
So if you want a lifelong job, go work for the VA. It's,
Super fun.
yeah, man, that boils my blood. Boils it. It pisses me off so bad.
Yeah, well, I don't like reading this article anymore because it keeps talking about people that did crazy shit and still kept their jobs. And then, you know, even people that they're kind of assuming or, you know, are taking things from the VA or recreational uses of painkillers and, you know, all this kind of other stuff and people getting caught with things like that. But, you know, they turn a blind eye because they're concerned with the legality of how it was found out that this person had illegal prescription drugs.
Yeah, I know, right? It's
Who cares how they found out? I mean, whatever. It is very ridiculous that this kind of shit can continue and gets protected by lawmakers.
yeah, because you know there's people inside the fucking government that are protecting these idiots because they have their own special interests. Because you know some of these guys are getting fucking under the table, you know, deals going on and shit. I mean, if you look at McDonald as well, the head dude, Robert McDonald, the guy in charge of the VA, I mean, he's just a bigger piece of shit as the rest of these freaking idiots. What is it? Recently, his latest comment was don't quote me, but it was the lines at the VA are not that, the wait times at the VA are not that bad. Look at Disney, they don't measure their wait times, so why should we? And then within hours, Disney commented back, it's like, yes, we do measure our wait times because our guests are important, and said a whole bunch of other stuff. And then McDonald tried to backpedal and was like, well, that wasn't what I meant. I meant the overall experience is what was important, not just the wait time. Well, I mean, yeah, the overall experience is important, and it fucking sucks because of the wait times and because of all the other fucking bullshit. Like, the dude is so fucking out there and out of touch from reality. Like, I don't know.
Do you want the quote? Because I found
I'll do it, yeah.
The days to an appointment is really not what we should be measuring. What we should be measuring is the veteran's satisfaction. When you go to Disney, do they measure the number of hours you wait in line? What's important is your satisfaction with the experience. Okay, well, let's talk about satisfaction with the experiences at the VA then.
Yeah, they suck. And Disney does, in fact, measure the wait times. I don't know if any of you guys have been to Disney. And it doesn't... I guess you're like one of the few if it's happened to. On the bigger scale things, not really. But you'd be waiting in line or go into the line on some of these rides. And at some point, the ride operator at the beginning of the line will give out a token to one of the guests waiting in line. And they'll say, hey, give this to the person at the other end. And that's essentially how they measure the wait times, because they log or they push a button or whatever the case may be at the time they give you that token. And then on the other end, when you finally get to the ride, they take that token and they measure that time that you wait in line. So yeah, Disney does it all the time. I mean, I don't know if they got more up-to-date technology ways of doing it now, but wait times is one of the biggest parts of any experience. I mean, I don't know. This guy's so fucking out of touch. But I don't know. Anyway, it's Friday, so
Yes.
yeah. So fuck that guy.
Yep.
Speaking of Friday, we have Redleg on tonight, guys. Same time as always, which is 8 p.m. Eastern. You can listen to the show at WTFNationRadio.com. You can enter the live chat and hang out with some of the creepy people that hang out there with their webcams on. Or you can probably see us on Facebook Live tonight over at US Army WTF Moments Facebook page. We got a show going on every night of the week, always starting at 8 p.m. Eastern. And Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, we always have this lunchtime show. Starts at 12 noon until 1400 Eastern. If we're not on Facebook Live, it doesn't mean we're not on the air. We're always on the air, kind of doing something, whether it be just for the most part playing music or whether it be a live show. So head on over to WTFNationRadio.com and you can check out the show schedules and what's going on when. So I think that's pretty much it.
Sure. Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
I hope you'll have a good weekend.
Yeah, I hope you have a good weekend as well. So
Thank you.
I think it's supposed to be hot here. So I don't know. We'll see how that goes.
It's pretty much been hot here since April. So
Yeah, the weather's weird.
I might have to swim to the grocery store later, so I don't know.
Is it? Oh, you're in Texas.
Yeah, I'm in Texas. It hasn't rained too much today, but it's looking like it's still thinking about it.
Wow.
So
Pretty sure that's
Who
making
knows?
up for the rain that you guys haven't had in the last 20 years.
yeah, right. All in 2 weeks.
Yeah. Alrighty, right, guys. We're out of here. As I said, join us tonight with Redleg at 8 p.m. Eastern. But as always, enjoy the rest of your day.
The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
Well, that's all, folks. That's my line. Step aside, babe. Let a star do this. That's all. That's all, folks.
Can I go home now?